Hello and welcome. It's Bashir Fado with lovelycourse.com as we continue our journey into project management. We're talking about the 5 stages of project management, and today we're talking about the 5th stage, which is closure. A project is over, and in different enterprises and different companies, I've seen different things happen. There's companies that had a project that went half decent, but a couple of projects later, oh my God, they're doing amazing. They're a lot more efficient, and because of the way they did their closure. Well, there's other projects in other places where, again, they're making the same mistake over and over and over again. How can we avoid making those mistakes over and over again? Not only that, but there's some cases where they've had to get certain, licenses for certain users for the development cycle. Once the project was, completed, the development was completed, you need to release those licenses, which are costing thousands of dollars a month. But the closure was not done correctly. And as such, the company was paying thousands of dollars unnecessarily for about 6, 7 months down the road every single month. So this is where closure comes in. As a project manager, we want to make sure we're going through all the stages in the right direction. So first, we're doing what's called a project initiation. Next, we're doing the planning, which is the scope and the budget and the communication and so on. And then number 3 is the launch and execution, where we're building kind of the dashboard in terms of status and tracking and KPIs and quality and forecast. Then it's in cruise control, number 4. So it's a performance and control where we're looking at the objectives, the deliverables, effort and cost tracking and performance. Then we get into phase number 5, which is the project close, the post-mortem, the project punch list, the reporting that goes along with it. So project closure often involves things like, here's kind of the main 6 or 7 points. Number 1, handling over the deliverables. We're done. Here are the deliverables. Okay. And whatever the completion is, if it's documentation, here's the documentation. If it's a new cloud server with everything installed in it and the app, here it is. So basically it's a deliverable. It's a package that's being given. Number 2 is releasing staff and resources. We've used, 2 business analysts, 3 developers, 2 administrators, 2 stakeholders, X amount of hours a week. Now that the project is over, you're released. You're done of your duties. Again, it doesn't mean they're leaving the company. They're working for other projects. But in terms of this project, when we sign off on it, we're releasing them completely. That means the project is done. Number 3 is archiving or handing over any relevant project documents. As when we started, we had our business requirements documents, the BRD. We're doing cross-training documentation, or maybe we're doing SOP, standard operating procedures. All documentations and designs and flow charts and workflows and stuff are handed over at the completion. So all the artifacts are being delivered at that point. Number 4 is we cancel supplier contracts. So any kind of licenses or supplier contracts that were used for this project, at this point, the project is over. So we need to make sure we're releasing it. So we're not overpaying, as the example that I gave earlier. Number 5 is completion of all activities across the project. When you say a project is done, it literally means that there's no more gathering requirements or developing or testing. It's all completed at this point. So completion of all activities across the project. Next is preparing the final project budget and report. So we had an original budget, but at this point, there might have been certain modifications where we saved a couple of dollars, or we've had to spend a couple of dollars. So part of what the project manager does is kind of tighten those numbers to show exactly the final project budget and report on that. And then finally, hand over into business as usual if this applies. All right. So again, the 5 phases of project management are initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and then what we call closing. So let's rephrase it a little bit. Let's simplify it a little bit. So in the closeout and evaluation, which is the last one, the closure, the closeout and evaluation, we're doing different things. And we're just going to rephrase it so we have a different perspective or a different picture, or oversimplifying it. The closeout and evaluation of a project, when we're done with our project, is we conduct acceptance testing. Number 2, we establish rollout plan and schedules. Now that they're going to implement it, now that they're going to use it, we're done developing. We're done with our piece of it. Number 3 is to complete the project documentation. All artifacts, documentations are being delivered. Number 4 is conduct post-implementation audit. Now we're going through a checklist to make sure that everything is completed. All resources are being relieved of their duties, at least for this project, and all everything that we worked with, all the different artifacts are being delivered. And then, of course, complete the final project report. So this summarizes the 5 phases of the project management lifecycle. So now to be able to go through the exercise and the certification, simply scroll down, go to lovelycourse.com, and then scroll down to the course, which is project management. Once you're in there, let's go to the right lesson, which is 5 stages of project management, lesson number 5, which is closure. You'll get into the lesson and you'll be able to study all the notes and watch the videos that we have. Once you're done, go back to the course, scroll all the way down. You're going to find the practice exams and the certification exams. Log into it and start taking the quizzes that relate to what you just covered. Again, if you have the right answer, being that it's multiple choice, it's going to auto-correct it and tell you it's the right answer. If you get the wrong answer, it will show you what the right answer is, and you can take the quiz over and over until you're very comfortable to take the certification exam. And then finally, don't forget to visit lovelycourse.com/events. We always have a lot of events where we'd love to meet with you and answer any questions that you have, or you could learn and benefit from some of the different free sessions that we have. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you in the next session.